let's allow the matches to continue. Let's do it. It's G2 versus Take3 coming up right now with the commentary. It's going to be Wave Punk and Findable Carpet. Take it away, guys.
Thanks so much, Axel Toss Carpet. Does it count as better facial hair when one person doesn't have any?
Definitely not. And I don't think Shogun wants to play the facial hair game right about now. He's got to be careful, buddy.
There is one facially hair branded person on this broadcast, and it's not him.
I wonder who that might be.
I wonder who it might be. Take3 versus G2. A team looking to clinch the top 2 here versus a team just looking to make it into the top 6. And for Take3, this game has it's not a must-win game, but they it would help them a lot, especially looking into next week. Take3 has a backloaded schedule. They're playing 2 games this week and 2 games next week. They already had their 1-game week and their bye week. So they have a lot going on here, and with their match coming up next against Genesis, it would be a big weight off their mind if they could take a win here over G2.
I mean, just the implications of this game. You have a team that's running for the top 2, or I guess they're trying to chase the top 2, and then you have a team that's running away from the bottom 2. They just want to do everything in their power to make sure that they have at least a chance in the playoffs, because it's everyone's game, right? If you can do really well, you can put yourself in a LAN opportunity and put yourself in a good seed. But as you said, later today, they play against Genesis, the team that they have been battling with all season, try and stay out of those bottom 2. And going into this with the way G2 played, right now is a better chance than ever.
We'll see if they can pull it off here. We got Take3 in the orange and G2 in the blue. Espeon with ball control to try and dribble that one through Kronovi in the air. And it'll be pinched out to the midfield. Espeon going to try and keep this pressure on as Rizzo hangs back in net. It'll be Jnaps and Kronovi moving up. Zanejackie shuts that down. Got it onto the backboard, but Rizzo makes contact, flies back out down the field. It'll end up in the orange corner.
While I find Rizzo to be a phenomenal defender, I don't know how I feel about deliberately placing him in the back and having him wait. They haven't been doing that all season, so I don't know where the change came from.
We'll see. They're trying to go more of a 2-1 strategy instead of a rotational 3. Possible, see if it works out for them. Jnaps trying to move up the field. Rizzo staying in the back. Kronovi in net. Espeon gets over the top of him, beats him to the ball, and that's first blood on the board.
This is not something you see at a pros very often. Kronovi in net rotates a bit too much and then comes out too late for that. Just beat out by Espeon with the contest. Well played by him. Even if Kronovi was there, Espeon would have made sure the ball was placed in front of the net yet again. It would have probably bounced straight up, maybe out to the left or right, but either way, good contest. He ends up winning it.
Yeah, Kronovi just a little bit loose in goal, holding his drift for just a moment too long, and Espeon able to punish. And that puts Take3 up by 1. Vince now lofted the ball into the corner, played out by G2. Kronovi in the air. Vince gets demoed in goal. They pointed this out. Shogun pointed this out in the first match. G2 going very, very aggressive, going for the contact plays that demo goalies quite often in their match against Set to Destroy. They continue that here versus Take3. 3:37 left to go. It is Take3 up by 1, but a nice shot from Rizzo. Oh, it goes just off the crossbar. Can Kronovi finish it? It's on the backboard, uncontested, lofted. Jnaps onto the backboard as well, and now Rizzo with the 3rd shot, blocked away by Espeon. If Jnaps had been able to shoot that instead of putting it on the backboard, we'd have a tie game right now.
Yeah, I think he tried to get up a bit too quick for that, but as you said, they're going for a bit more physical play, and it seems to work for some teams, but maybe not with their play style. They struggled with it last series. They almost got reverse sweep last series, so they need to really be careful with their positioning.
Jnaps in the corner, Rizzo alongside. He'll fall back and let Kronovi pick up ball control. He slows this down, gets it past 1, plays it past Espeon as well, but Espeon's positioning forces him to lose control, and Zanejackie will be able to play it back and onto the blue backboard. Jnaps, a little soft touch. Espeon's in the air. Can he beat Rizzo? It's in the corner with Jnaps now. Now Vince out to Zanejackie. And into the other corner. We're going to move laterally to the other side of the field, approaching halftime. Still does 1-0 in favor of Take3. Espeon soft touches just enough to get it past Kronovi. And Jnaps, now Espeon trying to play it down the field again. Rizzo waiting in the back. Be able to turn this one around. A lot of 50-50s right now as both teams being very aggressive.
I mean, right now, Take3, if there's any time for them to try and snuff out any kind of plays that G2 has, now is the time, especially when they're playing a little bit slower than usual. Right now, Rizzo's clearing that up, and to who? No one is there. Zanejackie is going to touch that out to Vince, but Kronovi well contested.
Zanejackie in the corner, alone. He'll miss that one. Espion now in net, needs to make a killer play. Zanejackie actually comes from the side, follows up his own missed touch, and now he's got ball control. There's a 1v2 situation. Espion misses the pass. It'll bounce around the corner, and Vince will keep the pressure on, but both Espion and Zane had fallen pretty far back, and that'll leave it with G2 to bounce it off the ceiling out to Rizzo. The shot downfield, and Espion misses the bounce. Now Vince down towards Zanejackie, over the top of his teammate. JKnaps and Kronovi both up for this one. JKnaps, I'm not sure what he's doing. Espion's gonna punish him. He dribbled it right in front of his own net.
Excuse me, JKnaps? Excuse me? I think him and Crow went for that, so he decided, well, there's no one left for this, so I should probably carry this across the field. Well, you might be good, JKnaps, but you're not that good. What he wanted to do was kind of insane, just perfectly air dribble that across the net. He lost control of it halfway through, and what is Rizzo supposed to do?
Yeah. I think both Rizzo and Espion kind of had the same reaction of, okay, and Espion's like, I'll take that. Yeah. Thank you, appreciate it. We're up by 2 now. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go. JKnaps off the backboard. Rizzo in to finish and cannot get it through. He dropped it straight down to his former teammate, Zanejackie. And now Espion flying down the field once more. It'll be Vince in the backhand. He get this one in time. He plays it away from JKnaps, who tried to position himself to pick up that clear and dunk it in, but it did not work. Final minute of gameplay. Espion down the field, past 2 players. Rizzo will move in, try to pass to Kronovi. Vince is there right now. It's all Take3 with ball control. Shots towards the net. Goes a bit wide, and JKnaps plays it to the side. But with 45 seconds left on the clock, G2's got to get it into high gear.
It almost feels like G2 doesn't really know exactly how to dedicate to defense and how to play a passive defense. They're trying to rotate through, but oftentimes you'll see someone get a hard clear, but somebody's too busy retreating to actually get up there for the pass, which is what they've excelled at all season.
30 seconds remaining. JKnaps on the side. A goal right now for G2 would make the comeback possible. But as every second expires, and right now with Take3 more and more in control of the pitch, it's looking like G2 is going to be dropping game number 1. Take3 coming out of the gates swinging, and G2 needing to go back to the drawing board. Right now we're seeing, you brought it up, they're playing a bit more of a aggressive demo-y style, leave 1 player in the back, send 2 up. Not as much of the midfield pass plays we saw from them early in their season that were so deadly. And if they can maybe adjust back towards that, they'd have a better chance of being able to tie this one up in game 2.
I mean, it's a very different play style, and it works well for some teams. I mean, pretty much the NA master of it is NRG. They've always played a physical game, but the way they play allows that. I think the G2 style doesn't really permit for them to be out of position very often, because they are all about executing a play flawlessly, a single passing play just phenomenally, being exactly where you need to be, cheating up in the moment you know you can because you have somebody back on defense or you can retreat. But now it seems like they're wavering between the 2. Sometimes someone goes up for a demo, which means they're not going to be there for a cherry pick or a redirect, which means the guy on defense has to stay instead of coming up, which they usually rotate so well. Sometimes they'll get a passing play, but then it usually leaves them open because they're like halfway between playing defense and offense. It just seems a little clunky right now.
Yeah, and we saw 2 different scenarios where G2 was able to get the ball onto the backboard, and they had a player up to take the shot, and one time they went off the backboard again. JKnaps was put on the backboard again, and then the 3rd shot just went wide of the goal, and then the other one dropped straight onto the hood of the waiting Zanejackie. So like a bit of like, they're on offense, they're doing everything they need to get it past Take3 and to give themselves the opportunities to score, but they just were not able to finish it off. They were not able to capitalize and get the ball in the goal. And I honestly I think Take3 is giving them some room to breathe here. Espion is missing quite a few touches, but Espion's also the one just sitting and waiting and like, oh, you're just going to dribble the ball right in front of your net? Sure, I'll put that in.
Yeah, that was actually probably one of the weirdest things I've seen them do. And I believe with that loss, this was G2's potential opportunity to clinch today at top 2 spot.
Yes.
And they now they have to wait until next week and see more results. They had an opportunity today, and they seem to have just thrown it away.
Not able to get a sweep in either series here. Means they will have to wait till next week to see if they make it into the top 2. More or less guaranteed to be in the playoffs at this point, but still, that top 2, the automatic berth into LAN, to not have to worry at all about the playoffs would be nice. Right here in game number 2 underway. It's Take3 with ball control right now in the enemy half. Vince going to try and push this one through. An excellent 50-50. Give Zanejackie an opportunity. I'll be falling back as Espion's... The touch goes off the roof of somebody in that corner. It flew all the way back down the field. Now Vince in the air. Just trying to maintain ball control. Passes towards Espion. BJ Naps on the side. Espion being a very aggressive player in the corner, rotating and following up his own touches. Vince now airborne. And again, Take3 with all the ball control right now. Zane Jackie with an opportunity that JNaps will shut down. But Espion will play it to the corner. Kronovi waiting for the cherry-picking opportunity, waiting very far downfield. And now G2 with an opportunity. Rizzo pops it high, but it goes behind his car, and that'll leave it with Zane and Vince in the midfield. This is Take3 back up on offense.
It feels like Take3's outpacing G2, but I think it's more out-positioning. G2's aerials are quick and they're getting up fast, but they're positioning themselves in a way where they're not able to get there in time. And Take3 keeps beating them time and time again to aerials and winning contests. Zane Jackie's done a fantastic job of winning the last like 3 50-50s he's been a part of.
Ooh, man. Vince in the air, keeping control at the midfield, following up his touch on the wall, dribbles this one downfield, played it across, but there's a bit of, talking about Take3's solid positioning, fell apart a little bit there, but they'll be able to pick up the missed touch from Rizzo. Move it back downfield again. Zane Jackie out into the middle, over towards Vince. Both Vince and Kronovi do not make contact, but Espion plays it over the top of JNaps. Vince is waiting and gets demoed in the midfield by Kronovi. That'll leave it with Rizzo. Vince will be spawning back on defense. He'll move up very quickly to pressure this one again. But we're approaching halftime. Nobody's scored, but it's been basically all Take3 on offense.
In the last 30 seconds, G2 has given up 4 balls from defense straight back into Take3. They're pushing it out, but no one's either following or cheating up for it. This is the first time JNaps has been able to get it and close to target, but not enough, and Espion has control.
Excellent position there from Espion to fall behind that ball, guaranteeing that the 50-50 goes in his favor, and it's out towards Zane, onto the backboard. Can he finish this off? No, Kronovi comes from the side. Passing to JNaps, the 50-50 in favor of Vince. Will keep the ball in the blue corner. Now it's up on the wall, past Vince as well. Espion misses, but Zane to pass up. Can Vince be there? Can he be the hero? It's in position. Zane gonna look to drop it through, but does not make contact. Espion tries to make it and cannot make contact. This one, can Kronovi beat Vince? No, Vince just tackles outright. He says to hell with the mind games, I want to make contact.
Crow tried so hard too. He's like, am I gonna touch it? Am I gonna do it? He didn't care. He went straight for that ball trajectory. No questions asked.
He's like, I'm gonna touch it, am I not? He's like, nope, you're not.
No, you're not,
That's
buddy.
mine. Moving it back downfield. 1:36 left to go in a very defensive game number 2. G2 looking to tie up the series here as they dropped game number 1 to Take3. Take3, a win here would just be such a weight off their shoulders in trying to make it into the playoffs. Give them some room to breathe over Genesis. Zane plays that one over the side. JNaps, a nice shot towards net, blocked away by Zane and Vince. No immediate follow-up, means the double commitment won't be that big of a deal, but Zane needs to play this one away, plays it backwards, blocks Kronovi's shot, but gets demoed. This is JNaps. I think he was trying to pass to nobody.
Where'd everybody go? They had it. They got the demo and everything.
Yeah, they had fallen back. They had the opportunity. JNaps knew it too. The goalie was loose. But in the final minute of gameplay, we could have our second game go to overtime scoreless today. So that was actually the first time, I believe, in Season 3 in the last series that we had a game go to overtime scoreless. Might happen again. JNaps over to Kronovi. Espion not able to get it through JNaps. Zane in the corner. He's going to maintain ball control here. Slows this one down. He sees Kronovi. Goes for the air dribble himself. Able to fake out Kronovi. Is Espion in position? He's in the back. He goes up for it. We'll play it over to the side. Not able to get any power downfield, though. Now Kronovi with a shot opportunity out towards JNaps. Vince gets in the way. Still in a dangerous spot. Both Zane and Espion in the air. Vince plays it down. This is G2's opportunity, but no one makes contact. Zane flying down the field. JNaps pops it high. They're just playing for overtime at this point, but no. There's only one player in the back, and Espion get this. He plays it over the top. No one's in net. No one's in any net right now. Is it going to touch it? We'll go to overtime.
Pulling goalies last second. Everyone just going all out for that. And I don't know what's happening with G2 right now. So often do we see a beautiful pass towards the middle and just no one's there to follow it up.
Oh my goodness, the pass plays from Take3. Can Zane finish this one off? Drops it down.
Zane!
Oh, they almost get there just off the corner. They still have the pressure on. The 3-man play there from Take3, very deadly right now on offense as G2 is struggling to get this ball out of their corner. Nobody's in net. Can Espion get the angle? Oh dear, I don't think Zane knew that Espion had an opportunity. They'll block that one away, and it'll move back downfield Vince, though, the immediate clear, back up on offense. Rizzo misses the touch, but Vince expected Rizzo to get it, wasn't able to make the double tap.
This overtime has been all Take3, but don't let that get carried away for you. One tiny mistake and G2 will capitalize. You have to keep someone rotating back. Make sure you are. But look at that. They still keep outpacing G2, even when it looks like they have control.
No one in a position to block this one, and he'll be able to find the upper 90.
What?
There were 2 goalies, but they were both loose. Take3 takes a 2-game lead.
Vince taking his time, and even from the side, places it perfectly up towards the crossbar. Crow coming out, expecting it to be low, but Vince waiting for the bounce, getting underneath it, and that is 2-0 in favor of Take3. What on earth is G2 doing, and where on earth is this Take3?
I mean, we just need a reverse sweep for the day, right?
If there's any time.
I mean, every time is if there was a time. I don't know.
I'm going to call it.
You're going to call it?
I'm going to call it.
Oh, man. Carpet's calling the reverse sweep right now, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to do it.
He's got 3 games to be proven wrong. We'll see if Take3 can pull it off.
Does my heart want to? No. My heart wants to see this happen.
I am happy with either result here.
That's true.
A reverse sweep from G2 would be amazing. Take3 beating G2 would also be incredible. But Take3, that was entirely them. From beginning to end, they had the ball control. They had the scoring opportunities, and they pulled it off here. We did. We had 2 games today that have gone to overtime and with 0 goals.
I just have no idea what G2 is doing right now. They are so quiet, all 3 of them. It's almost like they're looking at a team and saying, we've got time. They're going to make a bad touch. Don't worry. It's kind of like when you see somebody going for a hard clear, and instead of contesting, you drop back because you know it's not going to be a shot on net. You have time for it. And then they're like, all right, I'm going to take it off the backboard. But then you don't realize somebody came up and stole that from you also, and they're just getting outpaced in the thought process almost.
It's
they're
the
like
classic
1 step behind.
Yeah, it's the classic upset mentality of this team is so much worse than us that we don't need to take it seriously when they're not that much worse than you, and because they're taking it very seriously because you are quote unquote so much better than them, that the Take3 just has an advantage.
And think about it. When you're playing in the RLCS, there's some teams that you might just think are untouchable. Like, I'm just never going to beat G2. I'm never going to beat NRG. And how am I supposed to beat these other teams? But if Take3 can come out saying they swept G2, they know they have the skill to beat any team here.
They beat any team here, possibly in Europe as well. There's got to be great feelings for them as they would try to get into the playoffs to qualify to go to LA. They left nobody in back, though, and Granovi's going to score the first goal.
Take3! Come on! You were doing so well!
We were saying so many nice things about you.
Zane went up for that touch, and Vince had confidence that Zane had it. So Vince, knowing he was low on boost, figured he'd go to the corner. I don't think the decision is bad, but he also should have noticed that even if Zane did get that touch, he had no momentum on his side. He was coming from directly underneath. You probably want to play it safe and grab some pads instead.
I think that's the 3rd time we've seen Granovi today score just a long shot boomer. Oh, he's going to get another one here. G2 realizing they need to play and lighten it up here. 2-0 already.
G2's pissed. Granovi now just tearing it up. 2 shots and 2 goals. 100% shot accuracy. One might be an open net, but that one was well played by him.
Able to get that one through. Granovi, very deadly with his accuracy. So far today, we've seen him, in this series, he's been doing a lot of setups, but now they're giving him the ball and letting him shoot, and he is punishing Take3. JNap's going to try and move this one downfield, and Zane will put it back into the corner. Vince tried to touch it lightly back down. And that'll be Granovi into the corner as well. Far corner. JNap's out. Setting this one up off the backboard. Is Rizzo there to finish? He's got positioning, but does not have the speed. Zane Jackie will play it away, and now he's in the air past Granovi. And it'll be JNap's in the back. Wins that 50-50 outright. Out to Granovi, the pass into the box. Espeon's light touch kind of just sets it up there, but JNap's and Rizzo neither one wanted to take the shot immediately. Oh, and an open net, Granovi. Oh, he misses high. How do you miss that one? That would have been the hat trick. But JNap's still in a threatening position trying to finish it off. Rizzo has an opportunity as well. Espeon doing his best bot impression on the corner. But he'll be able to get that one out in time here. Zane Jackie out to Espeon now. They are going to look to see if they can respond to these 2 early goals from G2.
Now we're starting to see the blistering pressure that we've seen all season out of G2.
Oh, what? How does that pass play and then Espeon on the crossbar? Oh my goodness.
Way to turn it around. Vince seeing Espeon. Espeon was so patient. And he had so much trust in Vince. They made eye contact. They saw each other. They're like, all right. If you don't get this, we're screwed because I'm dedicating for it.
Espeon's like, you see me, right? He's like, oh, I see you, man.
Oh, I see you.
We got this one. It's a 1-goal game. 3:17 left to go. As Take3 still within reach is the sweep of G2. We will see if they can pull it off. Zane over towards Espion. Kronovi pops this one backwards and gets bumped by Espion. But Rizzo plays it all the way down the field. Take3 needs to fall back. Zane Jackie in the back. The resident defender for Take3. And G2 just removing everybody from the pitch. Rizzo with the soft touch does not go through. Zane Jackie plays it away, coming from the side. After being demoed, able to move it down the field. And will this go in? No, JKnaps will play it away. That was almost a tie game on the breakaway.
Please no more open nets. That is not what I want to see with this much pressure on the line. Everyone should be able to rotate back. Unless they're the demo, that's the excuse I'll give you guys. But you should be able to organize enough and, you know, just communicate to be able to make sure that someone is in position to make saves if necessary.
Zane Jackie backwards will play that one across his own net. Vince over towards Espion, who misses contact. Vince is loose in net, but has grounded himself now. Will be able to move out with Zane. The pressure from G2 lighting up as they are reading the contact from Take3. Able to intercept most of the passes they're trying to put together. Now Zane with ball control. Gets tackled by Rizzo. JKnaps plays it over the top of Vince. It's just Espion in the back, but Kronovi misses in the midfield. Espion even got demoed in goal. It was an easy shot, but he misses that touch. With 1:49 left to go, they're still only up by 1, looking to get their first win in the series.
Even though that was a fantastic opportunity that they did miss, they have had a good amount of control this game, but you can't give those up, especially when you've been battling all these 0-0 games all the way to overtime. You want to seize every opportunity you can to pull yourself in the lead and facing one loss away from getting swept.
Man. These passing plays again from Vincent Espion. That's pass to open net. Can Zane get there? No, Kronovi from the side. Made contact first. So much work done by Vincent Espion to open up that net. They were not able to finish it off. Final minute approaching. And Take3 still down by 1. It'll be Zane trying to move it out of his own half. Now JKnaps in the air, looking to pass this one back inside. Loses the drag race with the ball. Espion out to Vince. This is lofted high. Zane's in the air, making contact onto the backboard, dropping towards Vince. The shot towards the upper 90. Does it go in? Can he get it? No. Vince plays it away from Kronovi, but Espion was too far upfield, and now G2 flying back down. They almost capitalized. Oh, Espion gets it away. This ball is moving so quickly, Carpet.
Take3 is absolutely on fire right now. That passing play from Zane Jackie, it almost seems like he just loves being on top of the net. Most of the time he spends up there getting some incredible passes, 2 touches in a row, but Espion ensuring that they are 1 goal up by getting a last-second block.
30 seconds remaining. Game number 3, Take3, looking for the sweep on G2. That ball going all the way. Espion does not have the pace to get there. Rizzo will be able to put that one in. That makes it a 2-goal game, and at this point, it looks like G2 will get a win in the series.
Starting the monster reverse sweep. Can they pull it off? Espion just reading that a bit too late, trying to get it off that backboard. He had a good touch on it. We see a lot of saves come from that. While that looked risky, mostly we see a lot of people retreating to get the saves, which seemed like last second, but I think just the angle he had and how far he was, he didn't really have the boost to catch up to that ball.
They almost had the opportunity there to put one in and give them the last moment opportunity for the tying goals, but it's not going to happen in this particular game, as G2 will take the win once the ball touches the ground. And we will go to a game 4, Carpet.
That we will, and G2 really making their fans sweat. I mean, if you're a G2 fan right now, you are curious and confused, maybe a little bit scared, possibly a tad bit angry. This is just uncharacteristic from them. We really haven't seen this all season. And it's that thing we fear from. We've seen G2 have their ups and downs, and their downs sometimes hit real hard.
You know, people after the series are going to be like, you know who won G2 versus Take3? Well, I went to game 4.
There you go.
I got a bunch of them in there.
There you go. We got a
Maybe we'll get 5 goals, and we can just keep that phrase going.
We here at the RLCS can count.
Can count all the way to 4. That's as high as musicians can count anyways. So, as we move into game 4, Take3 had so many opportunities. This was about the best game we've seen from these two teams. Both teams have had opportunities. Fantastic defense was more what was blocking the shots rather than just missing. But still, we saw at least 2 opportunities where Kronovi were like, how did you not put that in?
Yeah.
And G2 still, I don't know, the accuracy is hurting me, and I feel like Take3 still has just as good of a chance to win this one.
It almost feels like G2 just all of a sudden lost their confidence. JKnaps so quiet. Usually JKnaps was the star. He actually made Kronovi, he was like at par with Kronovi. He right now he's still, I mean, he was leading the league in shots and goals and assists, right? Like you don't beat Kronovi at that usually, and here he is on his team showing him how to play Rocket League. But right now he's so incredibly quiet. Rizzo, so incredibly quiet. It just seems like their confidence took a hit. And now, while I did see their pace pick up last game, if they can ramp it, I think they still have a good shot at this reverse sweep.
Vince will win second touch off of kickoff. That'll give Take3 ball control right out of the gate, as has been the story basically the entire series. Espion with a nice loft. Rizzo will play it to the side. Zanejaki falls back and lets Vince move up. Now Rizzo will try and play it through. Zanejaki with a nice tackle into the corner. He's lofted in the air. Espion does not get enough height. And we'll have to leave that one for Vince, who plays it over the top of 2. It'll be Rizzo in the back. Can he make contact? He does not. What a shot from Vince to put this one with the angle inward.
Every moment they find that opportunity, they are putting it. Look at how wide he swung for that. He knew it would be bouncing off that back wall, and he knew there'd be a bit of an angle, not much of one, just a bit of a sliver. But he figured, you know what? I'm gonna angle myself and line it up, because best case scenario, no one saves it. And guess what? Best case scenario.
Best case scenario happens, and that gives Take3 the 1-goal lead. A win here gives them the win in the series over G2. 3-1 would be our final score line, but G2 looking for that reverse sweep, looking to send us to game 5 for the second time today. JNaps almost carries that one all the way, but Vince over the top of 1 and into the side. He and Kronovi on the wall. He'll play that one over the top of Kronovi, who's being very patient. Zane almost had the dunk there. But now JNaps downfield.
That was actually gorgeous. Making up for the last time he tried that and failed.
Yeah, able to carry it away. 3:45 left to go. Take3 up by 1. Espion now with the dribble opportunities, and JNaps will play it away. Moving this one upfield, picks it up off of his own touch to the wall. Kronovi with the shot towards the net. It goes high. JNaps in the finish, but Espion blocks it. Rizzo has the opportunity on the pass from Kronovi, and he will not be able to put it in. I was so certain it was going in, and they still are down by 1.
They have to be shaking right now. I don't understand where this lack of accuracy comes from. Every single player on G2 sometime in the series has missed a completely wide open opportunity.
And with just a simple pass from Kronovi, a textbook play from G2, not able to capitalize. And here's the exact same thing on the other side, more difficult, and Zanejaki puts it in.
2-0 right now with 3 minutes left. If they take this, they will beat G2 and give themselves one of the largest collectives sigh of reliefs moving into the rest of today. Fantastically played. Right now they're just beating G2 with their own game, and they're taking every tiny opportunity, and G2 is just missing theirs.
Espion tries to play that one through with 3 minutes left. Take3's just got to hold on, and they've got a fantastic defender in Zanejaki backing them up. He gets demoed by Rizzo, so that leaves some space for Kronovi and JNaps to try and push this one up, but some missed touches, just leaves it back out in the middle. And Vince will play that one straight downfield. A nice boomer shot blocked away by Rizzo, and Kronovi will take the immediate counterattack. Both Espion and Zane in the air, but they will not get punished. Rizzo had given them a lot of space. Now Zanejaki and JNaps. This one up, it's past 2. Vince on the wall. Play that one back towards Zanejaki. Moves it upfield. We've crossed halftime here. A great dribble play over to Espion. Well defended by G2. Kronovi out into the midfield. It'll be Vince playing that one around. We've passed halftime. It's still seeing G2 here. No points on the board. JNaps with a nice pass downfield. Kronovi in to finish this one. It will finally go in, and we've got G2 with a point.
Rizzo trying to put the bump pressure on while Kronovi and JNaps do their pass. That was a fantastic touch from JNaps. Kronovi finding the angle. Rizzo trying to keep the pressure up on Zanejaki. I believe his presence forced Zane to take that jump a little bit earlier than he intended, than he wanted to, which made that save a bit harder because you don't build up as much pace and speed when you're boosting through the air as you do on the ground. And they are now 1 goal away from tying it up and staying alive in this series.
Staying alive indeed, looking for that decisive game 5. Vince plays it down. JNaps back into the corner. Immediate counter touch. Zane demos Rizzo, which gives Take3 the space. Touches from Espion gave ball control right back to Kronovi. Vince will make the save. Savior medal from Vince this game. But now that ball lofted high. JNAPS to try and play it through. Gets it past Zane Jackie. It's Espion and Vince. They're kind of a little bit confused in net. It's going to drop back into the box. Espion gets it away. That's about as close to an own goal as you can get while still saving it.
I cannot believe he managed to get the momentum to push that out. Ugly indeed, but it got the save he needed.
This ball pinching around. Bouncing off of multiple players. Kronovi going to try. Get that one past Zane, but cannot. The shot from Rizzo blocked away by Espion. So much defense coming out from Take3 as they're holding on to their lead. JNAPS, so close with the angle, but cannot put it in. Final minute of gameplay in game number 4 here on Manfield. Zane Jackie will play that one over the top. Can he get it out of his own corner right now? So much pressure. Rizzo with the opportunity, puts it high. Espion on the backboard. Play that one away. Kronovi now back into the box. Both Zane and Vince up, but they get the hard clear. Buying them time to get back on the ground and get resituated. JNAPS with a lot of power. Nobody in position to pick it up. Would have been a difficult angle anyways. There's Vince now with ball control. Dribbles it past 2, puts it in front of the net. An excellent setup from Vince, but no one able to finish it off. Final 17 seconds of the game. Does G2 go home here? Or are they able to send us to game 5? The shot from JNAPS blocked by Espion. Kronovi has the opportunity, puts it down, but blocked by Zane, and blocked again. The wall of defense coming out from Take3. The final countdown. Can they keep this in the air? The opportunity from Rizzo. He puts it down. It doesn't go in. It's just a sliver outside the goal, and Take3 takes the win.
Oh my, Take3 has to be out of their minds right now, assuming that got tied up, but they take down G2 here, almost getting tied up there at the last second. G2 really just sluggish compared to what we're used to seeing, and Take3 really brought it out today, knowing that this was the time for them to do it. How close could this have gotten?
It could not have been more in the goal and still been out. As it drops, we'll see. Watch it go in. I'm just watching.
Yeah, no, silence. A moment of silence for this.
Just let it speak for itself. Oh! It's a pixel. It's so close. And
You've got to be kidding me.
Every moment, and you think of all the open nets they missed earlier. They have to be kicking themselves because that would have won the game if it had been in.
I mean, the fancy ones we saw them pull off, but even the simple passing plays are the ones they missed. It was the easy ones they couldn't do, and that's what Take3 was putting right back at them.
Yeah.
They're like, we're just going to do a pass play. If you're not going to be there for it, we'll save it. I mean, that first goal that Vince got from the corner, like that was like a good shot, don't get me wrong, but it was nothing that insane. That should have been blocked. That should have been shut down while they had the opportunity. But G2 just a bit sluggish to get to everything, and they will go down 3-1 in this series. Take3 has to be on cloud 9.
They have to be feeling so good and be so ready to take on Genesis later today. I'm excited to see them play again. Oh, man. But we got to keep talking about this match here. Send it back over to the analyst desk. Axeltoss, back to you.
Thank you, Wavepunk and Findable Carpet. What an ending. Haven't seen anything like that in recent times. Sliver, a pixel, whatever. It didn't go in. Axeltoss, joined by Gibbs and Shogun. Guys, we had questions about G2 after that first match, and Take3 in a position where they really need wins right now to be in the top 6, to stay alive in the RLCS, and able to come out with that victory.
And this is what I love about Rocket League. We came in today like, there's probably one game that might be a toss-up because G2 and Energy playing 4 games, all not against each other. We thought they would win all of them, but this is why we play the games right here. And Espion, he started it off well, and that's exactly what he needs because he's a guy that plays amazing with confidence. But then JNAPS, very confused in air dribble. He lost control of it halfway through, so he tried to make up for it, but at that point, it was done.
Yeah, I mean, Take3 were doing a very good job of giving Espion space to work his magic in offense, and then G2 and JNAPS kind of just helped him out. Here's more space for you to work with. But honestly, shooting percentage and shot accuracy was key in this one. Let's take a look at the shots compared. 38 shots for G2, they only scored 5. 21 shots for Take3, they scored 6.
And then Rizzo, he misses this final shot that would have actually went in as long as there was a split second left on the clock. He had 8 shots in game 4, didn't score a goal. He had more shots than any player on Take3 for the entire series.
Oh, look at that.
I can't.
So unfortunate for G2, but at the same time, so many missed wide open shots. It shouldn't have came down to that for him. And G2, they had a chance to clinch a world championship spot today, and now they just lost it completely with that loss. They still can, obviously, next week, but they cannot be happy about this.
Yeah, but on the other side, Take3
Oh
has
my
got to be
God,
feeling
yes.
great. Again, they're coming up next. They're going to be playing Genesis, so look out for that. But from Take3's perspective, you know, we've talked about Espion. What kind of consistency are we going to see from him? Like sometimes he has great plays, he shows up, but other times a little bit lackluster. And maybe we saw that from Rizzo a little bit from G2 today, although he was able to come alive a little bit in that series. But talking about Take3, how good are they feeling and how can they carry that momentum into their future games in the season?
They have to be so excited because if they went 0-2 today, they would have had to go 2-0 and needed help to make playoffs for next week. And now that you beat G2, one of the best teams in North America, they have to be like, all right, like if we can beat Genesis next, we're looking really good for playoffs. And then from there, the sky is the limit.
Yeah, this next match that we're going to have coming up is huge at this point. Realistically, Genesis must beat Take3. That is now, it went from a big game to a massive one.
Yeah, and as we've learned in previous seasons, it can come down to the final day. It will come down to the final goal. That's just the way it works in the RLCS. Every single game, every single goal is so important. But speaking more about G2, what in particular do they need to refine as they go forward, right? They're in a great position right now in the standings. They should still be very happy with where they stand. They had a win against Set to Destroy a little bit earlier in our first match of the day. But what do they need to focus on going forward?
One thing I see from them is they kind of went back to their iBuyPower Cosmic ways of all offense, no defense, and it was working for them. But then they see on the other side, their main opponents, of course, the NRG, only 1 goal per game being allowed by them. So I think it seems like they're trying to go more of that style to be a little bit more on the defensive side. And right now they're just in that transition period of trying to figure out exactly where that line is, and it's not working right now.
Yeah, they really did struggle to try and find it there. I mean, throughout that entire game, and the last series, I think they lost to the corner of the map 3 times, and they ended up conceding immediately off it. It was just, they didn't seem there today.
All right, well, we actually have a special guest on the line right now. We have Kronovi, who was playing in that last match. Kronovi, how's it going, man?
Good, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us. I want to ask you first about the progression of season in the RLCS. Season 1, you guys win. Season 2, not so great. And now we're in Season 3. So can you talk about that path and how you're feeling in this current season?
Every season has had its own ups and downs. Season 1, although we did really well, we definitely weren't the favorites. We had Gambit leaving and having to train with a substitute for a month. And I'm really happy we clutched it out there. But the problems that we had during that month kind of continued into Season 2. And we spent the whole season in a hole, struggling, trying to climb out, and that was pretty stressful. I'm just really happy that we started Season 3 with a brand new roster, and we started so much stronger, and we don't have to really worry about that. So yeah, we lost one today, but we'll shake it off.
Can you talk about the team you have right now, the current G2 and the current season of RLCS? Maybe about how it was placed together and how you're feeling as a roster right now.
I knew right after Season 2 that JNAPS was one of my top picks. JNAPS is crazy. He hits so many insane goals, and he's always very clutch for us. Rizzo is kind of a last-minute addition, but I think he fits the team like a glue. He keeps everybody together, and he really fills out a lot of the rotations. So I'm really happy to have both of them.
Now, y'all are in a great position in the standings right now, near the top of North America. What are you guys going to be focusing on going forward? And you're done for today, but going into next week and going into the regional playoffs, what's going to be your main focus to keep it together and put yourself in the best position to win?
Definitely looking at that head-to-head matchup against NRG. Winning that would secure us a top 2 spot, which is what we want. We don't have to worry about the playoffs. We just want to make sure we're going to LAN and everything. So definitely focus on NRG for sure.
Now, going into next week, as a team with so much on the line, does that add a lot of pressure to your performance and how you play? Or can you speak about the mentality you guys have as a team going into the final week?
I think the more pressure you put on us, the better we play. This week was one of our easier weeks, even though these were the closest some of our games have been, and we lost. I think the weeks where there's less pressure are the hardest weeks for our team. So we're definitely welcome to the pressure, and we're looking forward to it.
Again, thanks for being with us here, finally. Any comments for your fans, any shout-outs? The floor is yours.
Shout out to everybody watching. All the new people, if you're coming from in-game and you click the little Esports live now thing. That's awesome. I'm glad that's there. I'm just glad everybody's watching Rocket League.
All right, well, thank you, Kronovi, for your time, and best of luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, that's Kronovi from G2 Esports. A treat to be able to talk to him. Any thoughts before we go to break, guys?
It's not easy to do an interview right after a tough loss like that when you could have clinched a world spot, so hats off to you, Crow.
Yeah, definitely to speak to the mentality that Crow has now, which is it's a loss. We can probably shake it off. Be interesting to see whether or not what you said is correct, whether or not next week we see a much better G2 squad, because they're going to need to be against NRG.
Yep.
All right, we'll see what happens. Again, G2 returns to action, the RLCS next week. Very important match against NRG. Lots of implications as we move forward in RLCS. Speaking of implications, we got a big one coming up next. It's Take3 versus Genesis. These teams are near the bottom of the standings, so they need some wins, Genesis especially. We'll see what happens. We're going to take a break here from RLCS. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be right back.